Looks like us anime YouTubers are fucked then. Hello guys and welcome back up north. I assume most of you have seen the videos about YouTube's new terms of service in regard to advertiser friendly content. Fuck off YouTube. No, but seriously, it isn't really that bad as we've been given a little bit more context on how this is actually going to work. But I do believe it's going to fuck over some big YouTubers, and through these videos they aren't too happy about it, and I'm not surprised. For me, there are a few types of content I like to watch on YouTube: gameplay, reviews, and personal opinions / rants. I think most gameplay YouTubers, but not all, which I will discuss, can mould their content so the new terms of service will have less of an impact on them. But for reviewers and opinionated YouTubers, it could become quite tricky, as when you're really passionate about discussing a certain topic, your emotions can carry you away, and before you know it, a video you made appears to have a yellow $ of death stamped on it. I have recently been watching content from IHE Everything and Pyrocynical, and I think it's absolutely quality content. But with the new terms of service, a big impact could be heading their way, along with many more YouTubers that create that type of content. Keemstar, Leafy. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy all the content from these named YouTubers, but Jesus Christ, you need to sort your fucking beef with each other out. It is on a whole other level, but that's not what this video is supposed to be about. I love you guys, but I gotta move on. Their content is definitely made for more mature users, but I don't think it's that unadvertiser friendly it should end up being demonetized. YouTube is a platform to express yourself, that was its whole purpose, but now it seems to be silencing anyone that likes to talk about sort of controversial topics, which in society now, and YouTube, has a big following, and in all honesty, it seems to make it look like a government conspiracy to shut people up. But I think I'm getting into it a little bit too deep, so we'll get to the actual point of this video. Advertiser friendly content is content that's appropriate for all audiences. It has oh, Jesus Christ. It has little to no inappropriate or mature content in the video stream, thumbnail or metadata, such as in the video title. If the video does contain inappropriate content, the context is usually newsworthy or comedic, and the creator's intent is to inform or entertain, not offend or shock. So this paragraph seems to convey that if your channel is deemed socially inappropriate for young children, then your shit is definitely not getting monetized, so don't bother making any more videos and fuck off, will you? Now let's have a look at what is considered inappropriate for advertising. So content that is considered not advertiser friendly includes, but is not limited to, sexually suggestive content including partial nudity and sexual humour, violence including display of serious injury and events related to violent extremism, inappropriate language including harassment, swearing and vulgar language, promotion of drugs and regulated substances including selling, use and abuse of such items, controversial or sensitive subjects and events including subjects related to war, political conflict, natural disasters and tragedies, even if the graphic imagery is not shown. If any of the above describes any portion of your video, then the video may not be approved for monetization. If monetization is approved, your video may not be eligible for all available ad formats. YouTube reserves the right to not monetize a video, as well as suspend monetization features on channels that repeatedly submit videos violating our policies. Now, looking at that from the YouTubers I watch, it seems to certainly apply to them. I'm not trying to put those YouTubers I mentioned in a negative light at all, but looking at those points in its simplest form, the channels I have mentioned certainly have some of those in the content. Not a whole lot, but enough for it to apply to them. And I also fit into that category because I find it hard not to swear in every other fucking sentence. So now let's have a look at YouTube's best practices for advertiser friendly content. Remember, context is key. We understand that high quality content isn't always sanitized, especially when it comes to real world issues. If your video has graphic material in it, you can help make it advertiser friendly by providing context. With that one paragraph, you have literally contradicted what you said was inappropriate. Controversial or sensitive subjects and events, including subjects related to war, political conflicts, natural disasters and tragedies, even if graphic imagery is not shown. How is it possible to make it advertiser friendly regardless of what context it's in? Because it's against what you just said. You make no fucking sense, YouTube. You need to sort yourselves out. Now, moving on to the actual best practice. Do follow YouTube's policy guidelines. Do use a title and thumbnail for your video that represents the content. Do create content that appeals to brand advertisers looking to engage with your content. This can increase the chances of finding an advertiser sponsor for your channel. Don't use explicit language or imagery in your title or thumbnail. Don't embed promotions for your own sponsors in your video, since this can create advertiser conflict. Learn more about paid product placement policy. This part is confusing as fuck. It is literally contradiction everywhere. Use an appropriate title and thumbnail for your content, but then what if it concerns something that is classed as inappropriate for advertising? Should we just stick an image of a cat as a thumbnail and title it "Cats are cute," but then when you click on it, it's about Syrian refugees? How do you create content that appeals to brand advertisers looking to engage with your content when you said anything worth talking about is deemed as not advertiser friendly content? You are literally telling us that we have to make videos for a young audience so they can stick a Disneyland Paris ad in it or something? Now, I can agree to some extent with the explicit language and imagery in the title/thumbnail, but it goes hand in hand really with the use of thumbnail/title that represents your content, because as I said earlier, if the content is something you deem as inappropriate for advertising, then we can't possibly do that because you fuckers, right? The last one I can't really comment on, as I know fuck all about that side of YouTube when it comes to the promotions and sponsors, so I'm actually going to have to leave that point out. Wait, hang on a minute, I've just realised something. This guideline isn't meant to be read by any content producer that has something decent to talk about. It's literally a document for the child-friendly YouTubers, such as Minecraft Let's Players, egg toy opening channels, and all the rest of that crap. It's phasing all those other YouTubers out. The YouTube apocalypse is happening. We can't stop it. No, but in all honesty, I hope you understood the point I was making, because that's the way this new terms of service comes across. Right then, let's see how content is actually approved for ads, shall we, YouTube? YouTube uses technology and policy enforcement processes to determine if a video is suitable for advertising. A video's availability in restricted mode does not affect its ability to be monetized. Automatic checks. We have trained systems that automatically check features of a video like the video title, metadata and visual imagery to decide how appropriate the video is for general advertising. Community flags. We depend on our user community to flag inappropriate videos to us for our review. Learn more about how to flag content. Advertiser controls. Brand advertisers have tools in their campaign settings to control where their ads may appear on YouTube, including targeting and/or excluding by audience demographics, topics, category, and content appropriateness. Depending on the nature of the policy violation, videos can be removed from the site or age restricted. Monetization is disabled on age restricted videos, and Google will immediately stop serving ads on these videos. Okay, so we already know a lot about how YouTube systems know if you're doing something you shouldn't be, and it will find you eventually, and how the community will also rat you in. Snitches get stitches, remember that. But advertisers have tools to check if their ad is appearing on an un-advertiser friendly content, right? And then it talks about if they found out your content is violating policy, your video will get stripped of all its money-making features and tossed out into the trash. Then shouldn't they be able to tell that through their systems your content is deemed inappropriate and not bother at all? Because no YouTuber is going to title and thumbnail the video with something that has jack all to do with what they're discussing, are they? And I'm not talking about clickbait, because that doesn't really come into play with what we're talking about. So, looking at everything we've just gone through, this new terms of service is not aimed at anyone but the channels that have a younger fan base and create content that is deemed appropriate. Because looking at what was said through the eyes of a mature YouTuber, the guidelines contradict each other in so many ways. It boils down to the simple fact you can't win if you make mature content. Back to my original point where I said though that anime YouTubers are fucked. Most of them are, as a lot of the thumbnails for anime related videos can be very sexually suggestive. Not all, but most, and a lot of the titles are probably deemed inappropriate too. And I'm not excluding myself, as I automatically do it, and the actual video content is usually sexually suggestive. So looks like we're going to get tossed out by YouTube too. I hope you enjoyed this video today, as I am quite enjoying covering some of the big topics and nitpicking information on the internet. If any of the named YouTubers are watching, I hope you don't mind me using your examples, as I wasn't trying to represent you in a negative light at all, but it was just very applicable to you. Thank you everybody for watching. Drop a like and leave a comment expressing your views on the situation, and as I said in my No Man's Sky video, let me know if something didn't seem right about the information, as I can easily correct it in another video. I'll see you in the next one.